Sports, it's in the game.
There's barely room for Sainz to get past.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Leclerc, and George Russell. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Alexander, Max Verstappen, and Sainz.
Okay, we've already won the championship, so just relax and go and enjoy this race. You deserve it. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. work out there. That was a strong drive and a great finish. Well done.
And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull after a long and hard-fought season. They've built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that wraps up the sprint. All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Alexander lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Max Verstappen, and Sainz, Ocon, Vettel, Norris, and Valtteri Bottas, Albon, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and Stroll, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, and Guan Yu Zhou, Fernando Alonso, they've taken a grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. We did it! Good job, we did it!
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Alexander. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
Nothing can challenge the leaders in the Constructors' Championship at this point. And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull after a long and hard-fought season. They've built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon. So with the race not far... Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic.